Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Very late reply you are giving. Okay. So I think last lecture. Still some students are joining, so let them join. We'll wait for them for 3 to 4 minutes. And we'll start.
भारी मारला हाँ हाँ भारी मारला एक है और दो
Okay, so we'll start. Is screen visible to all? Is screen visible? Prerna, Asmita, Abhishek.
Yes,
Visible?
sir.
I think last time we have started some numericals on entropy change during the different thermodynamic process. So we have discussed about entropy, and we know the formula of entropy for different thermodynamic processes. Previous to previous lecture, I think we have discussed much more about the derivations about the entropy change formulas in respect of isothermal processes, isobaric processes, isoperic processes we have discussed. Okay, so his screen is now numericals are appearing on the screen. Whatever I am changing that is appearing on the screen. Somebody can reply.
No, sir.
Only first point is getting.
Sir, black screen display.
Now it is okay. Now I think you are getting. This is the screen.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this kind of derivations we have completed last lecture. Phase change also we have discussed. So phase change numericals also we have revised. One numerical was taken. Afterwards we have revised some numericals on phase change. So this numerical oxygen is, I think this also we have taken last time. Am I right? Somebody help me. Oxygen is compressed reversibly and isothermally from 125 kilopascal is not visible. Is it visible now?
No, sir.
I think it is visible. Just a minute. For 5 minutes. Yes, sir. Thank you. So I think we were discussed about the numericals. So okay, so this numerical phase change also do some numericals on phase change. So we have discussed that. Then ice melt. This numerical we have completed. So then water is heated from some 60 degrees Celsius to calculate entropy change for 1 mole of an ideal gas expanding isothermally from a volume of 24.4 liter to 48.8 liter. This also we completed. Then oxygen numerical is also there. Oxygen is compressed reversibly and isothermally 125 from 125 kilopascal and 27 degrees Celsius to a final pressure of 375. It is isothermally compressed to a final pressure of 375 kilopascal. Determine change in entropy of gas. So isothermally it is 27 degrees Celsius remaining constant, and so gas constant for this numerical I think we have completed. So gas constant for oxygen is okay for reversible. So 8.314 divided by molar mass of oxygen is, so R is 8.314. That is kilojoule per kg Kelvin. If it is divided by molar mass of oxygen 32 kilomole, then we are getting R for oxygen is 0.259 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And for reversible processing, change of entropy may be given as delta S is equal to Cp ln of P2 Cp ln of T2 divided by T1 minus R ln of P2 by P1. But as the process is isothermal, so definitely in this case so Cp ln of T2 by T1 will become 1 and it will become 0. So delta S for isothermal process is equal to minus R ln of P2 by P1. And P2 is 375 kilopascal, P1 is 125 kilopascal. Ratio is there, both should be in same unit. It's not necessary to convert into SI unit. Therefore, delta S is equal to minus R ln of 375 over 125, okay, is equal to minus 0.285 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This is the entropy change. Then another numerical is that if determine the change of entropy of air if it is heated in a rigid tank from 27 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius at low pressure. Okay, so change in entropy of air. So this numerical one. So again, they have given the entropy of air. It is rigid tank at low pressure. So low pressure means what? Isobaric process, and here from 27 degrees Celsius to T1 is equal to 27 means 27 Hello, is screen visible now? All of you? Somebody can reply. Is screen visible?
Yes, sir.
One, just wait. Now, is it visible? Second slide. Asmita or Prerna, please reply or chat.
No, sir.
No. No. Now,
No, sir.
no. Wait. This is the thing. Not feeling yourself. मोटे क्या बोल ते स्क्रीन मैक्सिमाइज केली ना पॉज होती स्क्रीन आता झालं नाउ इट विजिबल वन मिनिट काय केलं is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, visible now. Okay, thank you. So I think we will discuss about some numericals on entropy changes during the different thermodynamic processes. I think now everything whatever I am changing, you are getting it is visible, na? Okay, so oxygen is compressed reversibly and isothermally. So this numerical we have taken previously. So determine the change in entropy of air if it is heated in a rigid tank from 27 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius at low pressure. So this numerical, I think last time we think were not taken or taken. Okay, so this it is isobaric process we have to consider, and we know the two temperatures. So here, let us consider delta S for isobaric process is given by if two temperatures if you are knowing, it is delta S is equal to mCp ln of T2 by T1. So it is air, therefore mass of air 1 kg of air they have given. If it mass is not given, we have to consider it as a 1 kg. So Cp ln of T2 by T1. So Cp for air in kilojoule it is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So this is mCp ln of T2 by T1. Okay. So m is equal to 1, Cp is equal to 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So T1 is equal to 150 plus 273 degrees Celsius. Okay, and T2 is equal to T2 is equal to 150 plus 273, and T1 is equal to T1 is equal to 300 Kelvin. Okay, so that we know. So therefore, delta S we have to consider it as a mCp Cp 1.005 ln of T2 by T1. T2 is for 23 Kelvin and T1 is 300 Kelvin. If you put the value, delta is equal to 0.345 kilojoule per Kelvin. Everybody understand this? Very simple numericals are there, but we should remember the formula. In chat box, you can mention and write down the numerical and answer. I will give 2 minutes to you. Chat box, it is understood. Chat box, you reply. Yes, sir, understood. They understand. Okay. Others, please reply and complete the numerical 2 minutes. I will give it to you. If it is over, please mention in chat box. Chat box mention it is over so that I can go to next slide. Next numerical we will go for. Final answer is 0.345. Can reply. Is it over? Smith Rubode Prenar. Calculate change of entropy per kg of air. R is equal to 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. K is equal to 1.4. When heated from 300 Kelvin to 600 Kelvin, while the pressure drops from 400 kilopascal to 300 kilopascal. So T1 is equal to 300 Kelvin, that is here. T1 is equal to 300 Kelvin. For this second numerical. And T2 is equal to T2 is equal to T2 is equal to 600 Kelvin. And P1 is equal to 400 kilopascal. Let it be both should be in same, that we have to go. P2 is equal to this compressed and temperature is during compression temperature is increased. So delta is equal to m mass of air per kg they asking. Therefore m is equal to 1. Delta S is equal to mCp ln of T2 by T1 minus mR ln of T2 by T1. Okay. So Cp is equal to here 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, that we know. Then m we are knowing 1. Cp ln of T2 by T1 we are knowing. Here m is equal to 1. Okay. 1. Here also 1. R 0.287 kilojoule per kg. This should Cp should be also in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. R we know ln of P2 by P1. So P2 is again 300 to 400. So in this case minus here it will be answer. So if you put values mCp, so it will be mCp Cp is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. T2 is equal to value, and you will get answer is equal to 0.696 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Understood? This is the final answer. Final answer of this is what? 0.696 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. You can also do the calculation and confirm the answers. Is it over? Understand and over? Write up below. Understand? Please mention in chat box. Chat box. Please mention in chat box. Understood? Or understood, sir? Others, please reply. Others. Abhishek Jadhav, Pawan Shinde. Only two students are replying. Others, please reply. If you are in doubts, you can ask. Please reply. Don't keep mum. Which is written. Anjan will understand. Okay, very good. Write down. 2 kg of water at 1800 degrees Celsius are mixed adiabatically. So this is adiabatic mixing is not in our syllabus. So last time I think. So these are some numericals. So adiabatic mixing is not in our syllabus. Still, if you want to understand this numerical, you can understand. So this formulas you are not knowing, so you will be unable to solve. So one adiabatic mixing is removed from our syllabus. Therefore, this is mixing of adiabatic mixing is not our syllabus. Then some here third law of thermodynamics, Nernst law. It's called also called as Nernst law, and it is related to entropy. And temperature. It is the relationship between one of the temperature and entropy generation at absolute zero temperature. Absolute zero temperature means what? It is anybody. It is 0 Kelvin. Means absolute zero temperature. 0 Kelvin is considered as what? 0 degrees is not 0 degrees. It is 0 Kelvin. Is considered as what? Absolute zero temperature. Absolute zero temperature is what? 0 Kelvin. So entropy is measure of molecular randomness. At absolute zero temperature, molecule becomes completely motionless. So according to the Nernst, Nernst scientist Nernst, the entropy of at absolute zero temperature, it becomes that molecules random motion. Here it will be stopped or they become motionless, completely motionless. The entropy of pure crystalline substance at absolute zero temperature is 0, since there is no uncertainty about the state of the molecules. So at 0 degrees Celsius, everything is there is nothing is random. Everything is pure crystal. Here it is going to be random motions are stopped, and at absolute zero temperature, entropy change is also 0 at for a pure crystalline substances. The entropy of a pure crystalline substances, at absolute zero temperature is 0, since there are only up to this. This is called as what? Third law of thermodynamics, or it is called as Nernst law. Understood? As there is no random motion, everything motion is going to be stopped at 0 degrees Celsius, 0 Kelvin. or absolute zero temperature, and therefore everything is stopped. Therefore, there is no random motion, or therefore no entropy generation. So therefore, entropy generation is very or zero, negligible entropy generation, zero at absolute zero temperature. The entropy of a pure crystalline substance at absolute zero temperature is zero. If somebody is asking the third law, you can write in your notebook and you can tell that here the entropy of a pure crystalline substance at absolute zero temperature is zero. Understand? This is called as Nernst law. It is related to entropy generation and absolute zero temperature. Understood? Chat box, nobody is replying. Yes, sir. Prerna Wankhede, understand. Okay, good. Others, please reply. Only Prerna Wankhede and okay, Abhishek Garu, yes, sir. The others, please reply. So write down this here. Arjun Ingle also getting. Others, please. Arjun, others, please reply and write down this third law of thermodynamics. Priyanka. Yes, if 07 Priyanka is also replying yes, sir. Good. Write down Priyanka, this third law of thermodynamics. So this is S tends to 0, T tends to 0. Third law of thermodynamics provide an absolute reference point of determination of entropy. The entropy determined related to this reference point is called as absolute entropy. This entropy at 0 Kelvin is called as absolute entropy. And the applications of third law of thermodynamics provides an absolute reference point for determination of entropy. At 0 Kelvin, we are considering that atmosphere here, 0 Kelvin temperature, entropy generation is 0, explaining the behavior of solids at very low temperature. So at low temperature, how the solids are behaving, because they are becoming motionless, and for pure crystalline substances, the entropy randomness is there is no randomness, and entropy is 0. Measurement of action of chemical forces of the reacting substances, analyzing the chemical and phase change. Okay, so these are the applications of thermodynamics, third law of thermodynamics. It is not for our syllabus, but just curiosity purpose. And as we have discussed about entropy, it is my duty to provide you the explain little bit information about third law of thermodynamics. But you have to remember this third law of thermodynamics. It is in the red line square. Okay, bracket. Everything is explained here. The entropy of all perfect crystalline substance or solid is 0 at absolute 0 temperature. This is the third law of thermodynamics. So this completes our first chapter, very big chapter, that is basic laws of thermodynamics. So there will be, if examination will be offline, definitely they can ask me derivations. They can ask variety of numericals are there. Just we have started from the heat of formation. Okay, then heat of formation, standard enthalpy of formation we have discussed. Then we have discussed about heat of standard enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of combustion. Okay, so standard enthalpy of formation is nothing but enthalpy related to reactant side minus enthalpy related to or associated with enthalpy associated with product minus enthalpy associated with reactant is standard enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of combustion, combustion enthalpy of reactant minus combustion enthalpy of product. So this will be the enthalpies. Then we have discussed about the limitations of first law of thermodynamics. Then devices or here some articles related to second law of thermodynamics to understand the second law of thermodynamics in simply for understanding in simple manner. So some devices are required to study, and those devices were heat engine, heat pump, and refrigerator. So we have discussed about the heat engine, what is meant by heat engine, what is meant by thermal reservoir, what is meant by heat pump, what is meant by refrigerator. Then here COP of heat pump and refrigerator and efficiency of heat engine. The relationship between COP of heat pump and COP of refrigerator. Who will tell the relationship between COP of heat pump and COP of refrigerator? Anybody? What is the relationship between COP of heat pump and COP of refrigerator? I'm going to take examination today, some little bit MCP examination. Already I have provided notes. Nobody is knowing? COP of heat pump is equal to COP of refrigerator plus
1.
1. COP of heat pump is equal to COP of refrigerator plus 1. So it is everything I have provided in the notes. Then we have solved the numericals on heat pump, refrigerator, and here heat engine, how to calculate efficiency. Then we have discussed about the reversible processes, irreversible processes, statements of second law of thermodynamics, that is Kelvin-Planck statement and process statement. Then we have discussed about the equivalence of second law of thermodynamics. Then reversibility, irreversibility, then Carnot cycle, then Carnot cycle, COP of Carnot cycle, then COP of Carnot refrigerator, Carnot, COP of Carnot heat pump. We have discussed and we have solved the numericals on Carnot refrigerator also, Carnot heat pump also, Carnot engine also. So Carnot is an ideal cycle, ideal engine. Okay. So whose efficiency is, I think, a maximum is and depends on the two temperatures only, initial temperature and final temperature of the system. So this way we have discussed about the equivalent Carnot cycle and numericals on Carnot cycle. Then we have discussed about the entropy. Then what is meant by entropy? Entropy is a property of system. Principle of increase of entropy, that theorem we have learned. So day by day, if the irreversible processes are occurring in the universe, then day by day entropy generation goes on increasing. And that way we have discussed about one concept related to destroy of the universe. What is destroy? How to destroy of the universe? So one day it will come that universe will not sustain the increased entropy. Okay, and it will one day it will get then it will get destroyed if it is not sustained the increased entropy, and in that case the entropy of the universe can be exploded, and that will be the death of the universe. Then entropy as a property. Then we have discussed about how to calculate the entropy changes during different thermodynamic processes, and we have discussed the two processes. One is change of state of an ideal gas, and another is here then change of state of an ideal gas, and another phase change process. So that way we have discussed entropy change is equal to ds is equal to integration 1 to 2 dq by t. And that way we have calculated the entropy, and just we have discussed about the formulas, and we have discussed some numericals today and yesterday and some previous lectures. Is it okay that I am ending first chapter? Anybody have doubts about the first chapter, first unit? Please reply in chat box so that I can declare that first chapter is over. But still, my observation is that you are not studying. Okay, maybe Diwali festival may be coming, so everybody is busy in that. But still, today and tomorrow we have to run the college. We have to take the lectures. So is it okay that I am declaring that unit number 1 is over? Anybody have doubt? I have already discussed or provided basic class notes, PPTs, all these PPTs. This PPT also, if I have not shared, then I will share. Anything, any doubt, please mention in chat box. I'm going to do 3 minutes to this and 2 minutes at least. If nobody is in doubt, then we'll go to unit number 2. No doubt, sir. Asmita sir, very good. Others, please reply. Priyanka Jankar, Abhijit. Somebody can, so that I will get confidence. Shall I declare Asmita? Chapter is over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Others, please reply like Asmita. Others, please reply. Prerna Wankhede, no doubt. Okay, Priyanka Jankar. Others, boy students. Pawan Shinde, Abhijit, Ingle, Gauri, Abhishek Zadav. Abhishek, yes, sir. Okay, good. Pawan, no doubt. Okay. So that let us then Arjun Ingle, yes, sir. We will close this unit number 1 and let us start unit number 2. So if, I will take today half an hour only unit number 2 and little bit introduction of unit number 2. Then this unit is very, very important. So as today's strength is very less, so you tell your friend that tomorrow they should not remain absent. Otherwise, they will not understand numericals henceforth. Because steam tables we are going to discuss in this unit number 1, unit number 2. And if you will understand the steam tables and how to read the steam table, what are the properties of steam, etc., then and then only we can able to solve the numericals on unit number 2, unit number 3, unit number 4, unit number 5. Okay, up to that, or unit number 6. Up to unit number 6, all the numericals and understanding is based on the unit basics of unit number 2. It is pure substance or steam generation. So I request everybody that don't miss the lectures and so. And there we will. If you understand steam tables, it is easy. It is not that much difficult. Before that, we have to understand some basics. So Is screen visible to all? So this is very, very important point that we have discussed at the phase change process. Now phase change process here we have discussed the phase change process of 1 kg of ice is changed its phase from 1 kg of ice to 1 kg of 1 kg of vapor. Okay. Now in this type, now here steam, when we are discussing about the steam, then definitely we have to discuss about the here we have to discuss about the phase change from water to vapor. We are not that much interested to have the phase change process from here ice to vapor, wherein maximally here we are morely very interested in here put attention. Screen is visible now? Somebody can reply. Yes, sir. Now, just it visible now. Applications of Steam. Seconds. No. Okay, is that? I think it is visible. Am I right? Somebody can reply. Okay. So we have to discuss about the formation and properties of steam. Or in the steam is considered as a pure substance. So steam is nothing but what? It is if we heat the water at constant pressure, that water is get converted into vapor. And that steam is nothing but what? Vapor form of water. Okay, is nothing but what? Steam. So it is vapor form of water. So and where the steam is used? In steam power plant for electricity. Whatever we are discussing about the generation of steam is mostly important for steam electricity generation. And this electricity generation, that cycles, etc. In next chapter, coming chapter, we are going to discuss. Then earlier days there was no diesel engine, etc. So there was James Watt who generated this here engine, steam engine, and these engines were used to run the railways. So steam engines for propulsion oblique drive. So mostly the earlier in olden days, the steam was used to drive the railway engines or some of the as a there was no diesel engine, petrol engine, or CI engine. So at that time, steam engines were also popular. And steam for heating. So steam is having a lot of energy, lot of heat. 1 kg of steam is contains a lot of heat, and therefore the steam is used for heating purposes. So if we see the steam rice, you can see that the steam rice came from the army concept. So army, there are a lot of people, lot of soldiers are involved in the army, and to make their dinner or lunch is hectic task. So there was for the steam was used to cook the foods of armies, and therefore steam rice. If there if that rice, and if that rice is heated or supplied with steam within less time, very less time, that ice can be cooked, because it contains steam contains lot very much huge amount of heat. And then sterilization, humidification, refrigeration also. The steam is used as a one of the, there is a steam ejector jet refrigeration is one of the concept is there, where we can use this particular steam as a ejector jet refrigeration is there. There we can use the steam as a refrigerant, and therefore steam can be used also for refrigeration purpose. Then also here this is the electricity generation purposes. Okay. Then this will be steam for heating purpose. If water, a lot of amount, more water if we want to heat within less time or very less time, and if you that water, if it is uh, what we can mix it with the steam, definitely in less time that water can be heated. So heating purpose steam is used. Then humidification, if that refrigerant air conditioning, That is one of the application. If we want to humidify the air, if in the dehumidified region are there where the where deserts etc. they are dehumidification region, and if you or cold days, if you want to increase the humidity, then if steam is added in the air, atmospheric air, humidity of the air can be increased. Okay, so these are the some applications of steam. So everybody understood the applications of steam? Please mention in chat box if you want more information. Yes, sir, Asmita, Prerna. Then appearance of steam. How the steam is appearing? So this is one of the kettle is there, and in this kettle, the steam is contained this kettle, and if it is exposed to the atmosphere, so this is appearance of steam. It is called as dry steam. Okay, so this is dry steam is there where there is no water particles in the steam. But after adding this steam into the atmosphere, some of the humid particles of air may mix with it. Humid means water particles, and the steam will become wet. So this wet steam is what? This contains some water particles. And here we are getting two types of steam. One is what? Anybody? Dry steam. This is what? Dry steam. And another is what? Anybody? Here? Wet steam. Dry steam is what? Dry steam means it doesn't contain any kind of water particles. And wet steam, this is the appearance of wet steam. This is the appearance of wet steam, and this is the appearance of dry steam. Okay, so this is the appearance of dry steam. Okay, and this is the appearance of wet steam. Okay. Some particles are, water particles are present in that steam. It is called as wet steam. And one is what? Dry steam. Then what is steam? Already I discussed the. If you want to write some of the points, so I am getting very slow. And then steam is a vapor or gaseous form of water. Steam is what? Gaseous or vapor form of water. When water is heated at constant pressure, and when saturation temperature of water will reach, then definitely water can be converted into vapor. This is called as our gaseous form. Okay, E is nothing but steam. So not visible when pure and dry. When the steam is very pure and dry, it looks like air, and therefore it doesn't contain any kind of water particle, moisture. Therefore, it is not visible when pure and dry. So we have earlier slide. It was dry steam was not visible when it is pure, but when it is wet, it can be visible. Working substance in steam turbines, steam engines. Okay. Then dry superheated steam can be treated as perfect gas. It is like air ideal gas. Steam is generated in boilers generally at constant pressure. So I already discussed that. Constant pressure, the steam is generated in the boiler. Then boiling point or saturation temperature. Boiling point is also known as saturation temperature. As this temperature, conversion of liquid into vapor occurs. The temperature at which phase changes, or in simple language, you can say that the temperature at which phase change occurs is called as here boiling or saturation temperature. Boiling requires external heat. Okay, so this is afterwards I am going to explain these things to you. So boiling requires external heat, but evaporation is there. When evaporation is there, that if pressure on the water, if it is decreased, then even at 0 degrees Celsius, so water can convert into its vapor form. But for that, the pressure on the water, it should be decreased. Okay, so if at very low pressure or vacuum pressure, water may evaporate at atmospheric temperature, room temperature. Okay, but boiling means what? Boiling is a phenomena occurs at atmospheric pressure, and there is pressures less than atmospheric pressure. These are called as vacuum pressures, or it is called as negative pressures. If there is a vacuum or negative pressure on the substance, definitely the substance evaporation point or saturation temperature will decrease. So here today's most important line you have to write in your notebook is what? Boiling point or saturation temperature. So saturation temperature, write down definition. The temperature at which the phase conversion occurs, maybe liquid into vapor or vapor into liquid. That temperature we call it as a saturation temperature. Write down in this our language. Saturation temperature is the temperature at which phase conversion occurs. That temperature is called as your saturation temperature. Understand? Written. This is very, very important. And the pressure at which and the corresponding pressure to related to saturation temperature is called as saturation pressure. Anybody doubt about saturation temperature? I will revise because it's very important temperature. Henceforth, we are going to use many times the saturation temperature, saturation pressure. What is saturation temperature? Pawan Shinde. What is saturation temperature?
Sir, boiling point of a liquid is called saturation temperature.
Boiling point, but boiling point is occurs at only one pressure. It is atmospheric pressure. Saturation temperature means what? The temperature at which phase conversion occurs. And there are a lot of pressures are there, lot of temperature. If you observe afterwards steam tables, we'll get how many pressures are there, how many temperatures are there. At different pressure, different saturation temperature is there. So saturation temperature definition you write and in your notebook or you remember henceforth is that saturation temperature is the temperature at which phase conversion occurs. Phase conversion is what? Liquid to vapor or vapor to liquid. And boiling point is the saturation temperature at corresponding to atmospheric condition, atmospheric pressure. Are you getting confusion is there in this slide? Therefore, I am explaining. Boiling point is its saturation temperature corresponding to atmospheric pressure. म्हणजे आपल्याला जर वॉटर जर बॉईल करतोय आपण म्हणजे फक्त ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशरलाच ते बॉईल होईल. म्हणजे ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर म्हणजे जर समजा आता ऍटमॉस्फेअर मध्ये जर तुम्ही वॉटर ठेवलं ते जर तुम्ही इव्हॅपोरेट करायचं असेल तुम्हाला म्हणजे कन्वर्ट करायचं असेल फेज तर त्या टेम्परेचरला आपण काय म्हणतो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट. पण इव्हॅपोरेशन मे ऑकर्स ॲट डिफरंट सॅच्युरेशन प्रेशर्स. म्हणजे प्रेशर कमी जास्त करू शकतो आपण बिकॉज वी नो दॅट वी आर at sea level where that is the pressure is standard, but afterwards when we come away or at more height we are getting definitely that pressure of is goes on decreasing. Sea level ला जास्त असते atmosphere आपल्या लेवल थोडं कमी असते प्रेशर आणि जसं आपण वर जाईल हवेत उंचीवर जाईल तसं atmospheric pressure कमी कमी होत जातं. That I think you are knowing these basics. Now you understood, Pawan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so remember that saturation temperature is the temperature at which phase conversion occurs. Okay. Okay, so Asmita Sarvade, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is saturation temperature? I will define once again. Ask you.
Temperature at which phase change occurs is called a saturation temperature.
Very good. Abhishek Zadav, because this we are using very henceforth more time, that saturation temperature and saturation pressure. Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Understood. Can you define? Okay. So evaporation means this evaporation without heat, evaporation occurs. Means what? Water can convert into vapor. But boiling at atmospheric condition, without giving external heat, water cannot be converted into vapor. This is called as boiling. So boiling related to only atmospheric condition. Remember that. And saturation temperature, it is one of the saturation temperature at atmospheric condition, atmospheric pressure. Okay, but evaporation, if you decrease the pressure, if you vacuum is there, so without heating also, water can convert into vapor. So boiling requires external heat. Without heat, boiling cannot be occurred. It is one of the saturation temperature at atmospheric pressure. Okay, now sensible heat and latent heat. We have discussed about this because this is very important and for this steam conversion. What is sensible heat? Anybody? Already we have discussed when because phase change.
Phase doesn't change, but temperature changes. Is called
temperature
sensible heat.
increases or changes. It is called as sensible heat. And latent heat is what?
Phase changes, but temperature constant.
Temperature remains constant. It is called as latent. And it is occurs due to only phase change. So sensible heat brings about rise or fall of temperature without phase change. Write down these words. I am uploading this PPT after completion of these articles. But write down sensible heat means what? Sensible heat here brings rise or fall of temperature without phase change. Latent heat brings about phase change at constant temperature without rise or fall in temperature. Sensibility is temperature here. You write down last two sentences. Sensible heat, temperature change at the same phase, and latent heat, phase change at same temperature. So this is the shortcut to understand this. So this is the shortcut you write down. Latent heat, phase change at same temperature. Phase change, temperature changes at same phase, and latent heat, phase change at same temperature. Written, understand the sensibility, latent heat, saturation temperature, saturation pressure. What is difference in between boiling point and evaporation point? Evaporation points may be different. Boiling point is only one for that substance. It is at atmospheric condition. I am repeating many times because it is very, very important. Any doubt? Understood? Please reply in chat box or by unmuting yourself. Yasmita understood. Please reply. Prerna, Wankhede, then Priyanka Jankar, Pawan Shinde, Abhijit Dado. I should not take names. You should, at your own, you should reply. Ingre, Gaudi. I should not take your names. You should reply at your own, please. No doubt. Okay, Priyanka, good, very good.
हॅलो सर. तर आपण बॉइलिंग पॉइंटला असं पण डिफाइन करू शकतो ना, द टेम्परेचर ऍट विच वेपर लिक्विडच्या वेपरचं प्रेशर ही ऍटमॉस्फिअर एवढं होऊ शकतं.
लिक्विडच्या वेपरचं प्रेशर?
हा सर, ऍटमॉस्फिअर प्रेशर इतकं होऊ शकतो बॉइलिंग पॉइंटला.
नाही, आपण प्रेशर कुठं बदलतो? ऍटमॉस्फिअर प्रेशर तेवढंच राहणार ना त्या पॉइंटवरचं. विदाउट ऍटमॉस्फिअर प्रेशरला, त्या प्रेशरला आपण फक्त काय करतोय, वॉटरचं कन्व्हर्जन म्हणजे ज्या टेम्परेचरला होतं. आता समजा आपण आता मागच्या वेळेस आपण डायग्राम बघितले, आपण टेम्परेचर वर्सेस हीट एन्थाल्पी. त्यामध्ये काय बघितलं की समजा आपण 10 डिग्री सेल्सिअसचं वॉटर घेतलं, थंड पाणी एकदम घेतलं, तर ते आपण आता पुढच्या वेळेस आपली ती स्लाइड आहे आपली पुढची हिटिंगची. त्यामुळे आपल्याला काय होणार आहे, 10 डिग्री सेल्सिअसचं पाणी पहिल्यांदा काय होईल, ते टेम्परेचर तिचं काय होईल, वाढत वाढत जाईल. जेवढी हीट आपण ऍटमॉस्फिअर मध्ये करतोय तेवढी हीट त्याचं काय होणार, पहिल्यांदा टेम्परेचर वाढत राहणार. आणि कुठपर्यंत टेम्परेचर वाढणार, ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशर कंडिशनला, ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशरला, ऍटमॉस्फिअर मध्ये अप टू बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, इव्हॅपोरेशन पॉइंट त्याला म्हणतो आपण. सॅच्युरेशन म्हणजे त्या प्रेशरला, ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशरला ज्या पॉइंटला वॉटर कन्वर्ट्स into steam or vapor, that point where point is boiling point. It is related to only atmospheric condition, boiling point. पण जसं आपण प्रेशर बदलत जाईल, जसं आपण समजा आपण व्हॅक्यूम क्रिएट केलं, तिथले एअरच काढली आपण त्या भागातली आणि त्यामध्ये वॉटर ठेवलं. एअर काढली म्हणजे काय होणार आहे, नो एअर मीन्स नो ऍटमॉस्फिअर, नो ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशर. म्हणजे ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशर पेक्षा तिथे काय असणार आहे, प्रेशर काय असणार आहे, कमी असणार आहे. आणि त्या ठिकाणी जर तेवढं जर प्रेशर आपण सगळीच एअर काढली, परफेक्ट व्हॅक्यूम जर केला, तर तिथं आपलं 0 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला सुद्धा, म्हणजे आता तुमचं जे ऍटमॉस्फिअरला जे टेम्परेचर आहे त्या टेम्परेचरला सुद्धा वॉटर कॅन कन्वर्ट इन टू वेपर अँड दिस कॉल्ड एज सॅच्युरेशन टेम्परेचर. अजून कन्फ्युजन आहे का राहिलं? बिकॉज हे कन्फ्युजन नको आहे आपल्याला. बॉइलिंग पॉइंट म्हणजे एक सॅच्युरेशन टेम्परेचरच आहे, पण ते कुठल्या प्रेशरला आहे, ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशरला, फक्त ऍटमॉस्फिअरिक प्रेशरला. म्हणजे तिथे बॉइलिंग पॉईंट हा एका लिक्विडचा एकच असणार आहे, पण सॅच्युरेशन टेम्परेचर काय असणार आहे? कोण आय एम आस्किंग यू.
डिफरंट असणार सर.
डिफरंट असणार, कारण जसं प्रेशर बदलल तसं सॅच्युरेशन टेम्परेचर पण काय होत जाणार आहे? बदलत जाणार आहे. पण ऍटमॉस्फिअरला एकच प्रेशरला एकच तिथे सॅच्युरेशन टेम्परेचर, म्हणजे त्या एकाच टेम्परेचरला वॉटर कॅन बी कन्वर्ट इनटू वेपर, त्या टेम्परेचरला आपण बॉइलिंग पॉईंट म्हणतो. म्हणजे तो वॉटर असेल किंवा ऑइल असेल किंवा तुमचं कुठलेही लिक्विड असेल. अंडरस्टूड?
येस सर, क्लिअर.
Clear. Very good. Okay. So another anybody have doubt? Okay. So here it is latent heat of fusion. So you have decided latent heat of vaporization. म्हणजे इथं आपण काय केलेलं आहे? एक एक्सपेरिमेंट केलेला आहे. The amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of solid ice into 1 kg of liquid water. त्या हिटला आपण काय म्हणतोय? Latent heat of fusion. Fusion म्हणजे सॉलिडचं वेपर लिक्विड मध्ये रूपांतर करणे. तर तिथं आपण एक एक्सपेरिमेंट कसं करतोय आपण, तर त्यासाठी तुम्हाला ते आपण घेतलं. इथं फनेल घेतलेलं आहे, त्या फनेल मध्ये आईस घेतलेला आहे. आईस हा 0 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला घेतलेला आहे आईस, आणि एअर त्याला आपण जूल मीटर, म्हणजे आपण जसं आपला एनर्जी मीटर आहे घरातला त्याप्रमाणे आपण काय केलंय, जूल मीटर घेतलेलं आहे इथं. आणि 1 kg ऑफ आईस इज कन्वर्ट इनटू 1 kg ऑफ वॉटर. बीकर मध्ये किती 1 kg ऑफ वॉटर, आणि त्याला किती एनर्जी लागते, हीट लागते. हीट आपण जूल मीटरनं आपण मोजलेली. जूल मीटर म्हणजे एक प्रकारचा एनर्जी मीटर आपल्या घरातला असतो हीटचा, त्याप्रमाणे आहे. तर त्याप्रमाणे आपण त्याला 1 kg ऑफ आईसचा लिक्विड मध्ये रूपांतरण, त्याला आपण लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ फ्युजन म्हणतो, HSF. त्याला आपण HFS किंवा HSF, दोन्ही बाजून आपण म्हणू शकतो HFS. आणि इकडं लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपरायझेशन. वेपरायझेशन म्हणजे काय? 1 kg ऑफ वॉटर घेतलंय आपण, ओके, आणि ते इव्हॅपोरेट 100 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला, समजा प्रेशर जर समजा 1 ऍटमॉस्फिअर असेल तर 100 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला ते वॉटर सगळं काय होईल? इव्हॅपोरेट होईल. म्हणजे सगळं वॉटर संपेपर्यंत किती एनर्जी लागेल? इट इज कॉल्ड एज अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट रिक्वायर्ड टू कन्वर्ट 1 kg ऑफ लिक्विड और वॉटर इनटू 1 kg ऑफ वेपर ऍट सेम टेम्परेचर. 100 डिग्री सेल्सिअस असेल तर 100 डिग्री सेल्सिअस पर्यंतच ते किती वेपर होण्यासाठी किती हीट लागते, दॅट इट इज कॉल्ड एज लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपरायझेशन. हे आपण घेतलेल्या डेफिनेशन. दोन हीट आहेत लॅटेंटच्या, एक फ्युजनची आणि दुसरी वेपरायझेशनची. आणि नंतर कंडेन्सेशनची हीट आहे. लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ कंडेन्सेशन म्हणजे आपण उलटही लागलो, समजा आपण काय केलं, हीट आपण त्यातली रिमूव्ह करायला लागलो तर काय होईल, वेपर सुद्धा काय होतील, कंडेन्स होतील वॉटरमध्ये. त्याला आपण लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ कंडेन्सेशन म्हणतो. आणि हीटर सुद्धा आपण काय म्हणतोय, जर आपण एकदम गार एकदम त्यातली हीट काढली वॉटर मधली आणि 0 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला, तर मे बी पॉसिबिलिटी इज देअर that water at 0 degree Celsius may convert into ice at 0 degree Celsius. It is called as latent heat of fusion. त्याला आपण म्हणतो, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, सॉलिडिफिकेशन. त्याला आपण लॅटेंट हीट ऑफ उलट त्याचं नाव काय, फ्युजनच्या सॉलिडिफिकेशन. वेपरायझेशनच्या उलट कंडेन्सेशन. अंडरस्टूड? प्लीज रिप्लाय. Smita, Prerna, understood. Pawan, Abhijit, reply. Okay, Pawan Sindhi understand. Abhijit also, Abhishek also understand. Okay, now here this diagram is very, very important for us. So this diagram is repeat for us because phase change, during phase change we have discussed about this diagram. Okay, so here okay, so here we have taken an example. The diagram is related to temperature versus H, means enthalpy. temperature versus enthalpy. So minus 10 degrees Celsius, that ice we have taken at minus 10 degrees Celsius, and it is heated, that ice is heated from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. This ice is heated up from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. So first of all, if that ice at minus 10 degree, 1 kg of ice we have taken. So this is atmospheric condition. Minus 10 degrees Celsius, that ice, 1 kg of ice we have taken. If it is heated continuously, then its temperature will increase. It will reach up to, let us consider that 0 degrees Celsius. So let us consider that only one pressure we are taking is a atmospheric pressure. Okay? So at 0 degrees Celsius. So up to this is called as sensible heat. The sensible heat of ice, we can say. Okay, sensible heat of ice. So this we give, I am giving this name as A. This AB. This point will be called as sensible heat for ice. Okay. Then at 0 degrees Celsius, what will happen? Now, temperature will remain constant at 0 degrees Celsius, and here 0 degrees Celsius ice, here at point B. What is point B condition? It is 0 degrees Celsius ice. This is ice. It start converting into, at point C, 0 degrees Celsius water. 0 degrees Celsius what? Water. And this is called as latent heat of fusion or latent heat of melting. It is called as BC, because temperature is 0 degrees Celsius remaining constant, and it is called as HSF or HSF or HFS. Sometimes they are also called as HFS. It is called as latent heat of fusion. Now at point C, we are getting 0 degrees Celsius water. Here we are getting what? 0 degrees Celsius. We are getting at point C, we are getting at point C, we are getting, let us consider, okay, at point C, we are getting 0 degrees Celsius. At point C, we are getting 0 degrees Celsius water. Now the phase change completed. Water, ice, all amount of ice is converting into water. Still we have heated. At from point C to D. What will happen? Its temperature will now increase, and that heat is called as what? CD. And this is called as what? CD. It is nothing but what? It is called as sensible heat, and the water temperature will increase from 0 degrees Celsius at point C to D point, that is up to, what will be D point? If it is 1 atmosphere condition, if we take, then this will be, here we can say it as a, this will be up to 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, 100 degrees Celsius. Now at point D, what will be there? Now saturation temperature is reached. Saturation condition is reached, and this is called as, now it is atmospheric. Therefore, we can call it as boiling point, or it is saturation temperature at 1 atmosphere. Still we heated. Still we heat the water at 100 degrees Celsius. Here, at point D, you know what will happen? Here at point D to E, what will happen? Phase change will occur, and this phase change is nothing but what? Here we can say it as a phase change occur. That is, water is converting into what? Vapor. Okay, and this is called as what? Temperature is remaining constant, that is 100 degrees Celsius, and this is called as latent heat of vaporization. In bracket, temperature remains constant as the liquid turns to gas or vapor at point E. So AB is sensible heat, BC is latent heat of fusion, CD it is sensible heat of water, DE is what? Again latent heat of vaporization, and here E to F is there. What is that? EX4. Now phase conversion is completely occur. The water is converting into what? Vapor. Still, if you heat that steam or vapor, its temperature will start increasing from E to F, and there is afterward there is no phase change. The gas or vapor is remaining, and the temperature can continuously increase up to infinite. This is called as what? Summary of sensibility, and it is denoted by letter here. Sensible heat of latent heat of vaporization is denoted by letter HFG. This sensible heat HF we can say HFG, and this is called a sensible heat. It is called a superheat. Why superheat? Because temperature is increasing more than saturation temperature. It is called as what? Superheat, and this is called a superheated region. There is no moisture, there is no water, and now this diagram everybody understand. Don't give attendance now. Understand? Please reply in chat box or unmute yourself and reply. Doubt काय आहे का? Prerna, Wankid understood, Asmita Sarvade understood. Others, please reply. One understand. Others, please reply. Jagannath is there. Okay, so draw this diagram. I will give time to you. So this is the diagram. It is called as HS diagram. TH diagram, temperature versus enthalpy diagram. And this diagram is also called as here property diagram of phase change. This is called as what? Property. Sometimes they may ask this diagram, property diagram of phase change. This is conversion of 1 kg of ice from to 1 kg of vapor. It's called as property diagram, and you draw the diagram, okay, and you whatever you want to liquid. This is solid, this is liquid, this is gas or vapor. Sensibility of liquid or water, sensibility of all solid, and this is superheat of steam. Understand, draw diagram. I will give 5 minutes. After drawing diagram, you write down over. Property is called as property diagram. You can give heading property diagram. It is temperature versus enthalpy diagram. How what ice is converting into its vapor form. And if we have completed up to this phase only, and we have stopped heating, then this is total. It will be what? Heat required for AB, sensibility of AB, latent BC, sensibility of water CD, and DE up to this. This is called as what? Up to what we are heating. So that depends on this. This is total heat is the total heat is equal to sensible plus latent. जेवढ्या sensible असतील त्यामध्ये प्लस जेवढ्या latent आहे तेवढे. जर तुम्ही इथपर्यंत तुम्ही स्टॉप केलं, डी पर्यंत स्टॉप केलं म्हणजे वॉटर तुम्ही इथपर्यंत एवढीच हीट दिली तर AB heat required for AB part, BC part and CD part. म्हणजे तुमचं फेज कन्व्हर्जन कंप्लीट झालेलं नाही. Diagram is over. Please reply. Mention in chat box. Asmin server is over. Others please reply. Don't send over. This diagram is very important. This is called as property diagram of phase change process. It's called as complete Jagannath already. Very good. Okay, as today's strength is very less, so we'll stop here because next part is very important. It is related to our steam. So next part just I will see. It is here only for your BC, our region, that is water to vapor mixer. This is same diagram. Okay, so it is ice conversion A to B, B to C. So this is called as boiling point because it is we are considering atmospheric condition. Okay, so this is called as melting point also. This is boiling point because only one atmospheric pressure we are taken. So this is A to B conversion of ice to here sensibility of ice. It is ice only, but temperature is goes on increasing. At B to C point here, it will be melting point and or saturation temperature. It is liquid ice now. Liquid water is there at point number C. So we are getting water completely C2D part. So if we are increasing this, heating is continued after C point also there. The temperature of water may increase from 0 degrees Celsius. Here it is what? 0 degrees Celsius to this point we are considering as a 100 degrees Celsius. So this is 100. This will be 0. Okay. And again D to E latent heat of vaporization. So it is now we'll discuss this is E to F steam. But is which steam? Superheated steam because temperature is more than the saturation temperature. So next part is there which types of steams we'll discuss. Then it is already we discussed is the dry steam. One type of steam is what? Dry steam. What is dry steam? Anybody? Unmute and tell. Dry steam. Another is wet steam. Don't type तर आपण शिकलोय मगाशी. Dry steam. दुसरी कुठली? दुसरी wet steam. And last जे आता तुम्ही नाव घेतलं त्याचं काय? Superheated steam. Third type of steam is what? Superheated steam. So one is what? Dry steam. Another is wet steam. And write down in our notebooks now. Types of steams. Here one is what? Dry steam. Another is wet steam. And last one is what? Superheated steam. I will Now don't only write the types of steam. Definition will write in morning, tomorrow morning. But that will be the very important lecture. Ask your friends or every friend that to join that lecture. Otherwise, they will not understand his for steam table and basics of steam table. We will define dry steam. We are closing now today's lecture. We will define dry steam.
Steam which does not contain water particle.
Water or moisture particle is called as dry steam. It will occur at which temperature? What temperature occur will the steam? Steam temperature saturation temperature, and it occurs at what? Saturation temperature. What temperature occurs will saturation. That temperature phase change will. That temperature the occur will. Okay. Wet steam. What is wet steam now? We will define wet steam. Wet steam, we will define wet steam. The steam which does contain water particles, is called as wet steam. And kutla temperature occur hote? Yes, saturation temperature. And last one is what? Superheated steam. Superheated steam also not contain any kind of water particles, but its temperature is more than temperature. It is temperature more than anybody. Temperature is more than
Saturation temperature.
Saturation temperature. That is called as superheated steam. Manje wet steam and dry steam will occur at saturation temperatures. Okay. Unit temperature एक है. फक्त dry steam doesn't contain any water particle. Wet steam contains some water particles or moisture. Superheated steam, dry steam सारखीच आहे. फक्त त्यात change काय आहे? Its temperature is more than the saturation temperature. Okay. With this note, I think shall we stop? Mention in chat box somebody. If your replies will be yes, sir, then we'll stop. Otherwise, we'll continue for some time. So Priyanka Janakar, yes, sir, we should stop. Satish Tiwari, first time we work here. Please stop. Okay. So with this, I think we'll stop. So I am ending lecture for everyone now. If your attendance is over, please tell. Shall I stop for some time? Okay, I will wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then I will end lecture for all. So you can leave the meeting. Thank you. But tomorrow morning, ask your friends to join the lecture. Very related to steam.